Hey folks, Erick Stakelbeck here. Welcome to the Watchman Newscast live stream. What a busy news day. Obviously, President Trump meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and European leaders at the White House after meeting with Vladimir Putin just the other day. But also, we've got reportedly Israeli forces massing around Gaza City. Israel's been saying, look, we're going to turn up the heat in a massive way on Hamas, and we're approaching Endgame here. So the invasion of Gaza City, where apparently some hostages are being held, maybe all of them, who knows? There's about 20 living Israeli hostages still, and you saw the footage recently, folks. These look like scenes out of Auschwitz. Totally emaciated, being starved to death by demonic Hamas terrorists. Oh, there is forced starvation happening in Gaza right now at the hands of Hamas. So that's going on right now. So two major stories that we're following. But let's kind of combine the two real quick, and we'll break down it looks like the coming invasion of Gaza City, which could go a long way towards endgame for the Gaza war. And number two, we'll talk a bit about the stakes, Russia, Ukraine, and Trump in the middle of it, trying to broker this peace agreement. But we can kind of combine the two stories, I think, with what President Trump tweeted and also posted on Truth Social, his social media account this morning. And folks, essentially, he told Israel, you must destroy Hamas. The time for games is over. Not that Israel's playing games, but what Israel has been doing is trying to still do the diplomatic dance with the world, which is condemning Israel. I mean, just today, by the way, we learned that a top member of Israel's Knesset was denied entry into Australia because he's on the right. Politically, he's a right-wing minister. So Australia, which is run by a leftist, anti-Israel motley crew, denied him entry. Folks, that's where we're at right now, where Israeli officials, Israeli political figures, of course, IDF member, any member, just a rank and file member of the IDF, not just a general, they're going to be harassed in certain countries. That's where we're at. I saw footage just last week on a beach in New York, a young guy who served in the IDF, someone filming him and harassing him because he served in the IDF, because he had a Star of David necklace on. I mean, that's where we're at. And this is the West. Talk about the death of the West. You're abdicating. If you're a European leader and you're doing this, you're abdicating any moral clarity, moral authority you had. You're siding with jihadists who, by the way, want you dead too. And yet you're siding with them, not only against Israel, but you're letting them into your countries in waves, mass Muslim immigration. And you're signing your own death warrant and committing cultural suicide. Instead of siding with Israel, which is a Western-style democracy, which was the cradle of Judeo-Christian Western civilization. Guess what? Because it's the cradle of the Bible, and our civilization here in the West derives from the Ten Commandments and from biblical principles and the teachings of Jesus. That's where it began. We've gone far off course, obviously, but that's where it began. In that tiny nation the size of the state of New Jersey called Israel, and yet the West is very quick to throw Israel under the bus, but not Donald J. Trump. Here's what he sent out today. I'm going to quote him directly here. We will only see, he said, the return of the remaining hostages when Hamas is confronted and destroyed. He's calling for the destruction of Hamas. I love it. The sooner this takes place, Trump wrote, the better the chances of success will be. Remember, I was the one who negotiated and got hundreds of hostages freed and released into Israel and America. I was the one who ended 6 wars in just 6 months. All true. I was the one who obliterated Iran's nuclear facilities. This is key. Play to win, he wrote, or don't play at all. And then the obligatory, thank you for your attention to this matter, as he likes to end his tweets with. Play to win or don't play at all. Folks, I think that's a message to Israel. And look, he's a great friend of Israel, a great friend of Bibi Netanyahu. But I think Trump is saying, look, it's gone on long enough. Hamas must be destroyed. Play to win. Decisive victory, Israel, which means decisively destroying Hamas. And that's what Bibi says he wants to do. And I don't doubt him. But Trump is saying, block out all the noise, all the diplomatic pressure, all the distractions. We've got your back. We're the leader of the free world, and we've got your back. We're your most consequential ally, powerful ally as well. We'll back you. Do what you got to do. We'll back you. That's what he's saying. Play to win. Win this thing. Destroy them. And folks, look, this would have been done by October 14th, 2023, in the span of a week, if not for the hostages. It would have been done in short order, if not for the hostages, of course. I mean, it's a no-win situation in many ways, because if Israel goes in with full force, which it looks like it may do in Gaza City, hostages may die. If Israel doesn't go in with full force, this thing lingers on and on and on. And then there's calls. We had hundreds of thousands, these leftist organized rallies in Israel this weekend in Tel Aviv, hundreds of thousands reportedly in the streets, calling for a ceasefire. We want the hostages home now. Everyone wants the hostages home. They're living in hell. But you can't do it at the expense of your security. It stinks. I hate it. But still, have wisdom, have discernment here. If you agree to a deal with Hamas, which leaves Hamas in power, they'll work and work and work till they're at the point where they can carry out more October 7th style attacks. This reminds me of the book of Revelation, where everyone's yelling peace and safety, and it comes on them like a flood. The Bible says a time will come like that, where there's going to be great tumult, chaos, wars. People are going to be crying out for peace and safety. Oh, and they'll get what they wish for, at least for a time. And there will be one figure who comes on the scene, riding a white horse. His initials are AC. You do the math. But in the meantime, you can't give away the farm right now if you're Israel. Everyone wants the hostages back safe and sound. But it's such a dilemma for Bibi Netanyahu. Does he just give give Hamas what it wants? And then what? What message does that send to the enemies of Israel? Folks, look, Bibi Netanyahu and Donald Trump, to me, have the most difficult jobs in the world. To be the prime minister of Israel, the president of the United States, the pressure, unrelenting, the decisions that need to be made, especially Bibi in terms of having the entire world piling on you, because it's a spiritual battle. And the opposition to Israel and the explosion of anti-Semitism is demonic at its core. So Bibi's fighting, whether he knows it or not, a spiritual war as well. In addition to the physical battle, a spiritual war Israel's engaged in. But I've said Trump and Bibi are the two most consequential leaders of the 21st century. Does anyone disagree? Tell me. Look, leave a comment. Are these not the two most consequential leaders of the 21st century, of the past 25 years, with what they've accomplished and what they're doing? I think it's two Churchillian figures who've come together for such a time as this, and they're doing great things together. And the best, I think, maybe even yet to come. But their partnership will echo through history as a result of what they did just with destroying Iran's nuclear weapons program alone. And it's deeper than that. The Abraham Accords, we can go on and on. But look, we want to break down what Trump is saying to Israel here. Do what you got to do. That's in layman's terms, number one. Number two, let's talk about, where does this go next? Invasion of Gaza City, where does it all go? Is Israel at the point that they say, we want the hostages, Israel's leadership, we want the hostages back with all our heart and soul, but we also have to destroy Hamas? So what exactly does Israel do? As I'm filming from home and I have barking dogs, I apologize, someone's at my door. But what does Israel do? 1 second. The wonders of live TV. And the rare day I'm filming from home. I'm filming from home because I'm actually driving my daughter to college today. So I figured I'd squeeze a live stream in, and then we have an eruption of barking here. But hey, guys, come on in. Maybe you can meet them, actually. To the thousands watching right now, you can meet my dogs. I will talk over the barking. I'm pretty much the only one home right now, so I can't run off. Here's one, you little rascal. Come here. Okay. Apologies for the distraction. I love it. And it's funny. This happened Friday, too. I filmed from home. My other daughter, my one daughter's going to college. Today, I'm driving her out in about an hour. The other one had oral surgery on Friday. She's getting braces. She's 14. So I filmed from home 2 days, Friday and then today. And both days we had an eruption of barking. Anyway, got to have a sense of humor with this, right? Brings a little levity to everything. But tough. Okay, guys. Okay. We have a sheepadoodle here. Big dude. I can't lift him up. Half old English sheepdog and half poodle. Then we have a little Morkie here. People said they wanted to see him. We just let out a yell. This is the Morkie. This is kind of unprofessional, I know. You can't see the sheepadoodle. But look, it's decision time for Israel. Trump is now putting the pressure on, because I can tell you, folks, behind the scenes, and thank you for your patience with the distractions, by the way, my loyal watchmen and women on the wall. But behind the scenes, I can tell you Trump is saying, look, we'd like to see this wrapped up soon, because we have big plans for the region. We have big plans for Israel. We want to see peace between Israel and Saudi Arabia. We want to see the Abraham Accords. Trump's got big plans for the region. And look, Israel does too. I mean, everyone can agree they want to wrap this up, but I'm sorry, you can't prematurely wrap it up before the job is done. That's the frustrating thing, right? You got to finish the job. Hamas cannot remain in power. You couldn't leave the Nazis in power in Germany in the wake of World War II, and you can't do it with Hamas. But what you can do, if you're watching right now and you love Israel and you want to support Israel, you want to do everything you can to support Israel. Okay, guys, get out of here. Get out of my hair. You want to do everything you can to support Israel right now. You can't get to Israel. It's been tough, flights, everything else, but you want to get to Israel. You want to support Israel. Can I recommend Wise Money Israel? Folks, this is an incredible organization. They are our partner for today's live stream. You've heard me talk about Wise Money Israel over the past few weeks. You can diversify your investments while supporting Israel. Perfect match, right? Look, Wise Money Israel manages Israeli stock and bond accounts for people around the world, including in America, where I'm sitting, any country, wherever you're watching from right now. You can work with Wise Money Israel and invest in Israel. By investing in Israel, you not only bless Israel, but you can also make a profit. As Israel battles to hold on to their land, you support Israel by backing successful Israeli companies, Israeli businesses. Look, folks, you know that Israel is kind of like a mini Silicon Valley in the heart of the desert. Amazing things are happening in Israel economically, the breakthroughs, technology, all of it happening in Israel. It's a prime place to invest, and it's pretty much been recession-proof. Even during COVID, as the world was struggling and groaning financially, Israel stayed above the fray. So it's a solid place to invest just from a practical level. From a spiritual level, you're blessing Israel, and the second half of that, you're being blessed in return. You're getting a return on your investment. wisemoneyisrael.com/TBD. It's wisemoneyisrael.com/TBD. You've seen the information there on your screen. This is a group of Israeli believers, followers of Jesus, Yeshua, which makes it even more special to me. When we partner with an organization here, and you've heard me, I partner with a select few organizations here in the live stream. When we partner with an organization, we only partner with organizations that are doing God's work. And if they're blessing Israel, the two go hand in hand. Look, Wise Money Israel's professionals wisely invest your funds in the local market, in Israeli markets. And as I said, Israel's economy is one of the most resilient and innovative in the world. so you can help restore Israel to the blessing God promised her. Align your finances with your faith. I love that. Diversify your investments and partner with Israeli believers who share your values, folks. This is good stuff. It's Wise Money Israel. Again, wisemoneyisrael.com/TBD. Check them out. You won't be disappointed. Okay. Trump's putting on the pressure. The dogs have calmed, it seems. Let sleeping dogs lie. Isn't that the old saying? Hopefully they fall asleep. But now I know next time I do a live stream from home, I'll take some more precautions. But you can't put them outside for 30 minutes. I'm in Texas and it's 97 degrees outside right now. So what are you going to do? But thank you for your patience, and hopefully everyone got a laugh out of that. And they're cute. They're good boys for sure. Okay, but Hamas are not good boys, as we get serious here for a minute. And Israel is ready. I'm just going to pull up this piece. Here we go. Hamas says it agrees to the latest ceasefire proposal as mediators scramble for a deal. Hamas on Monday, again, this is like false start again and again, nonsense and games. And that's why Trump tweeted what he tweeted today. Hamas on Monday informed mediators that it accepted the ceasefire hostage release deal that was submitted, and it's a 60-day pause, and 10 captives will be released, and it's a gradual thing, and it gets dragged out over months. Enough. Trump is saying enough. We want all the hostages released. And Bibi's saying the same. And again, that's why Trump tweeted what he tweeted today. He's saying to Israel, read between the lines. I've got your back. Do what you need to do. So again, Hamas, now that Israel is perched on the edge of Gaza City, ready to conquer and invade it, now Hamas saying, oh, no, we're up for a ceasefire. But they're playing games, folks. And you know they're playing games. They're demonic. This is what they do. They said, Hamas, the Hamas movement and the Palestinian factions convey their approval on the proposal presented by the Egyptian and Qatari mediators. That's half the problem. You got Qatar mediating here, and they're a supporter of Hamas. Apparently in Gaza City, according to Israel, the IDF, in the coming days, IDF ground forces, accompanied by the Air Force, will begin moving towards new areas to increase pressure on Hamas. And the goal is to conquer Gaza City. It was decided reportedly in conversations with the war cabinet that numerous brigade-sized combat teams comprising at least 80,000 soldiers would encircle and conquer Gaza City to destroy Hamas's core infrastructure and the primary government symbols still under its control. Now, Israel will not wait weeks to do this. Now, you might say, wait a minute, I don't get it. I thought Israel destroyed Hamas's leadership and everything that was under Hamas's control. Yes, in large part, Israel controls some 75% of the Gaza Strip and has absolutely decimated Hamas's leadership. You've got some bitter enders here, obviously, hanging on. But at the end of the day, Israel was more cautious around Gaza City over the past nearly 2 years now, since the October 7th massacre, since Hamas launched its invasion and hostilities broke out. But now it's Endgame. And if the remaining Hamas factions, and if they have the hostages there as well in Gaza City, have basically gathered in Gaza City to make their last stand, it could be a bloody affair. It could be, once again, urban, house-to-house fighting, guerrilla fighting, nasty stuff. And Israel has excelled in the nearly 2 years in Gaza in every facet of warfare. But pray, folks, pray for wisdom for Israel's leaders, pray for the IDF, pray for God's hedge of protection over them. They're going to do what they need to do. And Israel's all in. If it's fighting in the alleyways, we're going to do it to win and destroy Hamas. So they're doing it as they should do it. But pray. Pray for wisdom, for guidance, discernment. And we've seen so many miracles, and I don't use that word lightly, during this campaign with God going ahead of the IDF. It's been absolutely amazing. Story after story. But does Hamas fold here? Or does Hamas, look, now they're saying, hey, we'll agree to the ceasefire. We'll release 10 hostages. And there's 10, but yet there's 10 more hostages still alive. There's 20 overall that are alive. The remains of 30. 50 overall in Hamas's clutches still, but 20 alive. It's a 60-day thing. We'll gradually trickle out the hostages and release them. I don't know about you. I'm out of patience with it. I know President Trump is. I know Bibi is. So what do you do? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think, folks? Leave a comment there. What do you do? Knowing the hostage, the precarious situation, that Hamas may kill the hostages, what do you do here? What do you do? I want to get your thoughts. I say we're the most educated audience on YouTube here on this channel. And by the way, if you have not subscribed, usually we don't have dogs interrupting me. I'm usually in a nice studio, but I'm home today. So if you didn't mind the dogs and you like what you're hearing, breaking news, current events, mainly from Israel and the Middle East, but really we cover the entire world. And we'll talk in a minute about Russia, Ukraine in today's meeting at the White House. And we do it from an unapologetically biblical perspective. If you like it, join close to 1.1 million other watchmen and women on the wall and subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you get alerts every time a new video is posted. Hey, before we go, let's talk real quick about today. To me, it was like watching Winston Churchill sitting in a sea of Neville Chamberlains, other than Giorgia Meloni, who I like, the Prime Minister of Italy, who's done some good things. And she's on the right, obviously. And Mark Rutte, the head of NATO, has been very complimentary of President Trump. And the leader of Finland was there, young guy, conservative as well. I shouldn't make the broad brush with the Chamberlain crack. There's two people in particular I'm thinking about. Emmanuel Macron, who was sitting there, and Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of Britain, who are two craven. I talked earlier about the decline of the West. They personify it with their weak, craven leadership. Weak, woke, craven. But Trump has to do the dance with them, and they're part of the conversation. They're NATO members or European nations. Zelensky was there today as well, obviously. And by all accounts, folks, Trump said it went well. Zelensky said it went well. Trump said the meeting with Putin last Friday went well. Here's the deal. Is this going to involve land swaps? It seems that's almost a certainty. Russia wants to hold on to probably large parts of eastern Ukraine that it's conquered since it launched the war 3.5 years ago. Zelensky said, even this weekend, we don't want to do that. We don't want to let them, according to the Ukrainian constitution, he says, we can't give up that land. That's a sticking point, potential land swaps. That's number one. Number two, world leaders were saying today at this meeting, and President Trump was hinting at it, Ukraine won't join NATO, but they could perhaps have Article 5 of NATO, Article 5 type protections. They're not a NATO member, but they get some of the perks and the protections of being a NATO member. If they're attacked, there'll be a European response. Russia now, I just read before I came on, doesn't like that. So this will probably not be an overnight thing. Now, today I heard the Chancellor of Germany, Friedrich Merz, in the meeting with President Trump. And look, it was live. There were reporters there. He said, look, we want a ceasefire. And Trump said, look, I'd rather just have a permanent deal, not a ceasefire. I want a deal, final deal. So that's an interesting wrinkle here. And Trump made the point, look, I've brokered 6 other peace agreements since I got back in office. What, 7-8 months ago? I mean, it's just amazing. He's a force of nature. Trump has been just incredible what he's done in America and around the world. He's relentless. He's God's man for this time, anointed for this. But he said, look, none of them had ceasefires. It was all permanent deals. Trump wants a permanent deal to end the conflict, not just a ceasefire. And same with Israel, Hamas. He's like, look, I just don't want a 60-day ceasefire. Crush Hamas. He's not the most patient guy, of course, but he gets stuff done. So we'll see. To be continued with Russia, Ukraine. And if Trump can broker peace there, it's going to be difficult. I mean, Putin just overnight was bombing Ukraine. So this is going to be tough. But I believe Trump can do it. I believe he can. And if Zelensky is willing to be a bit flexible, I don't expect Putin to be very flexible. And he's the one who should be. He launched the war. This is his fault. But he doesn't seem like the flexible type. But here's the deal. Everyone's inflexible until you hold their country's economic destiny over their heads. President Trump has all the leverage in the world, and he really could. I don't know if he could crush Russia economically, but man, oh man, could he make their lives miserable. And why do you think Putin asked for that meeting on Friday? He's worried because Trump is enforcing secondary sanctions against the likes of India, Russia's trading partners, and that bites Russia. We had Armenia just a week and a half ago. Armenia, staunch Russian ally for decades, agreed to a peace deal with Azerbaijan at the White House. Russia didn't like that. Trump has all the leverage, and he's not afraid to use it. So, folks, keep all this in prayer. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. We're talking Israel, Gaza. Pray for peace with Russia, Ukraine. Hundreds of thousands of people needlessly killed there because of Putin's invasion. A lot going on. I will tell the dogs that you said hi. Apologies again for that, and thank you for your patience. And usually it's a much more professional environment here on the live stream, but anything can happen when you're live from your house. So wish me luck as I drop my daughter off at college. God bless everyone. Until next time, thanks for joining us. And remember, never hold your peace.
Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the Watchman Newscast. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss an upload, and tap the bell icon so you're notified every time a new video is posted. And don't forget to share your thoughts, insights, and comments below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow.